Booth.
It's your boy, the Don Moosh.
Welcome to our channel, you guys.
Hi guys.
He is going through a phase, so please ignore him. But today,
it's a very special
it
video.
is. It's something we haven't done in a minute because we've been caught up in music.
And the K-pop world has been surprising us with the cinematography, the cinematography.
Seducing mistress. Yeah. That is so pretty. And she's wearing a crown like she knows she's a queen.
You're a queen.
She just knows.
Encore.
It didn't even finish yet.
Yes, especially.
It's been amazing. But today,
especially
it's all about movies. We're doing a movie review to this movie that just came out on Netflix called The Old Guard. And it's awesome because we've kind of like been starving for some action, right?
Yes.
With everything going on, movie theaters are closed.
Yeah.
The movies that we've been waiting to see, especially superhero movies, which is, this movie is based off of a comic book.
It doesn't even have to be superhero. It could just be a good action movie that surprises you.
Yeah, which this movie is. We've kind of like been starving for some good action, exciting, adventurous.
Yeah, and who to do it better
than Charlize Theron? Oh my God, she's amazing.
I don't know why, but she was our crush forever. Like the first time I've seen Charlize Theron, if anyone doesn't know this movie, it's a movie called Mighty Joe Young. It's an old, early 2000s, late 90s movie when she was taking care of like a very huge gorilla in Africa. She was nice. She was in her prime. What was your first time?
My first time seeing her?
Yeah, in a movie.
I don't even remember. I just sort of not always known about her, but I can't really remember the first time I saw her.
Oh, okay.
Which is, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I mean, no, it's not a bad thing because you've seen her in a lot of movies. So.
Yes.
Yeah, she's that bitch.
But the latest movie that I've seen from her was Atomic Blonde.
Yeah.
And she kicked ass in this movie. In that movie. And this movie, she kicked ass as well.
It reminded me of Atomic Blonde, but in a different kind of
so
world.
if you haven't seen The Old Guard, please be sure you see it before you watch this review because this is a spoilers included. We're going to be talking about the movie as a whole, and we're going to talk about some things that you might not want to know if you haven't seen the movie yet.
So once again, it's a spoiler alert. So if you haven't watched it, leave. Yes. Please, you don't want to be spoiled.
But come back.
I don't want to be responsible for you messing up your experience and watching.
But come back after you've seen it and let's get started. So if just to give a little revival of the movie, like a little summary, it's basically about this group of friends, which she is, Charlize Theron's character, is kind of like the boss of. She's like the leader of
the group, and this special group happens to be immortals. Now, when you think of immortal, you think like obviously you can't die or you're invulnerable to pain or injury and stuff. But in this special case, in this movie, these immortals are able to experience pain. They get shot out multiple times. That's how it started in the beginning of the movie. They were in a combat
they were trying to like rescue a bunch of girls, which happened to be fake, because the guy set them up in order to prove that they're immortal so they can become sort of like lab rats. The premise of the movie is great. So basically they have to kind of like fight their way out of that situation and end up killing the guy responsible, which is the guy that hired the guy that tricked them. Anyways, the movie is amazing, and we met a new actor for me. Her name is Lily. She plays Niles Freeman in the movie, which is, I guess, the supporting actress to Charlize Theron's character. She was a little annoying at first, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, okay, like, you're immortal, like all she wants, and then she left when they're about to rescue the other people. So these are the only people you've met who suffers the same thing that you're going through, and who can give you some kind of support or familiarity. And what you do, you turn your back on them.
I mean, to be honest, babe, think about it. It's happening to her so fast, all in one day or so. So a lot of things is catching in. She thought she was slit in the throat, and you know, that's how she died. Turns out she's back alive. Her wound healed up, and then all of her soldier friends are looking at her in a way that's like it's unwelcoming. Yeah, you know, and she feels like an outcast to a group that she was always welcomed in. You know, and it's a lot of things happening, especially the part where all of a sudden Charlize Theron's character Andy all of a sudden knocked her out, shot her, kidnapped her, and you expected to just,
I guess so. But I don't know, I guess I've been kind of like used to like movie characters like accepting things on the go. Yeah, so like I guess I didn't think about it that way. Yeah, but the one thing that I was a little annoyed at the movie that they didn't really make, like they didn't really take the time to answer, or they didn't want to answer, was the why did they become immortal? Why it seemed to happen out of nowhere. Yeah, like she was just chosen, and then the other characters, while they were on the run, you know, they kind of like dreamed of her, and they know like, ooh, we have a new teammate, and then she dreams of them too. And then I'm just like, well, why? What was the choosing process? But then they didn't really explain that. Another thing that they didn't really explain was how did it happen? How did it happen? And things like that. They kind of left you. They didn't say it out explicitly. They kind of left you to figure it out. Yeah, and
which is actually good. I actually like that. It builds a little bit of mystery, so we as the viewers can theorize how this started. And I already have my own theory of how it came about. Well, I'll talk about it in the end. But yeah, I like the way they made the immortals in this movie turn out, because they are vulnerable to pain. They are vulnerable to bleed out and getting unconscious. They can feel everything.
Oh, and another thing to that is, you don't know when you stop being immortal. Yes. So you could get like a wound, and then it could be your last one. Yeah. And then you die from it. Like it just happens. You just stop becoming immortal, which is what happened to one of their past friends.
One thing is for sure that they did confirm is that if you are new in becoming immortal, like you just become chosen, you won't die off right there. Yeah. Even if you, let's say you throw yourself out of a building, which she did, she was still alive because she's brand new. But Andy, who is the leader of the group, she's been alive since the 1000s.
Yeah, like they made it very apparent that Andy is the oldest. And I like the fact that they didn't, that's another thing I like they didn't really tell you how old she is, so they're keeping that air of mystery. I'd like to think that it's because, you know, they just want to make a good movie, but I know it's because they have a second one coming. I know that for sure. They have a second one coming, and they just want to leave off some stuff and not answer everything all at once. But basically, I like those things. The premise of the movie and the way they approach, they give this fresh take on this superpower thing that we've seen done throughout like the past 5 years so often. You become more desensitized to it, but this is like a fresh take to the whole being immortal. Well, I don't know how fresh it is, but it's like a refreshing welcome thing to it. So I really like that.
And their task, of course, is to make themselves well hidden, because there's going to be some greedy people who have power, as usual. Yeah, you know, we're seeing that nowadays with people with power. They can do whatever they want, they can take whatever they want and stuff like that. And that was what they were trying to do. They were trying to you know, experiment on them so they can pass out their immortal genes, so to speak, to cure diseases, or even maybe even something worse, you know. And it just shows that people like that are not meant to have something of a gift like that.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh well, you're my guinea pigs now.
Yeah, even, like this the dude is a straight up savage, you know, immediately saying that you're mine.
The bad guy was a
young dude too.
He's a young dude. I didn't think much of the bad guy. Like, they could have given me something better. And then the guy we initially thought was the bad guy was just someone that was trying to prevent, like, he had a good reason.
He had good intentions. He actually wants to help people, but the bad guy just wants to live,
make money
for profit,
and then on the guise of helping people.
And I bet that if he actually found a solution, he will only give it to the people of power, not to the whole entire human population.
Basically big pharma, you know what I mean, that whole concept. And you know, that was, I just feel like with the movie, the premise being so interesting, I feel like I needed a little bit more from the villain, the main villain, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I didn't really get that, and that was like, okay, it was still a very decent movie. Like, the action scenes, you got some very long takes.
Yeah, the action scenes were very
good. Some of them, you know, they chop it out, like they make too many cuts for a scene. Like, I guess that couldn't be prevented, but some of the scenes, like the action scenes, they had very long takes. You got an idea of where everybody was, what they were doing, so it didn't feel too choppy and CGI-y. And I really liked it.
There was no CGI at all. Yeah, apparently there was no CGI, which is why I really liked the movie, because
like, you can tell like they trained.
Yeah, the choreography was very well done. The only CGI obviously is like when Andy broke her arm.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. But when it comes to like special effects and stuff, not that much. And
it was very enjoyable. Like, you get the idea that these guys are warriors. They've been fighting for a long time, and they've picked up tricks, and they kind of like people you don't want to meet on the battlefield. Like, even your years of training, you'll be like, there was this specific part where Andy went ballistic, and like, she killed everybody, and then the guys that was watching, like the bad guys that were watching from the van, they were like, I think it's time for us to go. And they literally ran away.
I strongly recommend that we leave right now.
She is so badass in this movie, like, it's freaking ridiculous. Like,
she's badass everywhere.
Oh my god, it was so very good. Something that can be picked up on the next movie is like, she had a partner, or maybe, you know, a girlfriend. I'm not really too sure. They didn't.
I think maybe girlfriend.
Yeah,
or a mate. You never know.
I don't know. But they came up with this thing where they freaking like dropped her in the middle of the ocean.
She was
in a box.
Not in a box, in an iron coffin. So it's not wood. It's iron.
For like 500 years. This girl has been drowning, coming back to life, drowning
again,
coming back to. I thought,
what the hell?
This was like, who thinks of that?
That's deep.
That's 500. Can you imagine that?
500 years of insanity, really, bro. You know?
And then the good part is like, Andy kind of gave up searching for her because they couldn't find her.
Yeah, in the deep vast ocean.
They were looking. They looked for 50 years, and they could. I thought. There's such good thinking that goes into this movie. Things that like feel fresh, but things that you kind of left feeling like they could have done more. Like, more could have been done, but it was so enjoyable. I would watch it again. It was a great movie, and it couldn't have come at a more perfect time. Like, I feel like anybody watching it really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and that very girl that was trapped under the iron coffin under the ocean for 500 years, post-credit scene, came back and found Booker saying, where is Andy? And so,
I don't think she said that. It was like, nice to meet you.
No, nice to meet you. Okay. But we all know that the moment she said nice to meet you in that kind of tone,
and we saw her face,
she's not in a happy mood.
She's not in a happy mood. She probably thought that Andy betrayed her, and we all know.
And 500 years is a long time to be.
It is a long time.
Trapped underwater in an iron coffin. I don't know how she got out.
You know, that wasn't too, like, I felt like that was anybody paying attention would know, like, it was a little predictable. Like, you knew she would come back.
Yeah.
Like, they made, because they didn't really do a lot of flashbacks. That was just one of the major flashbacks.
And if you think about it, it's iron underwater. Eventually, it would rust out.
I don't know what happened, but what I'm saying is, like, Like they don't really do flashbacks to introduce the characters like that.
Yeah, not that much flashbacks.
So the only flashbacks that they actually spent time doing was Andy and that girl. So obviously, you know,
and
the girl,
Booker a little bit too.
Booker a little, but that girl would have come back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. So, good stuff. So, I really enjoyed the movie.
I would want to ask you this: if you had that gene, the immortality gene, would you be happy with it or would you not? Like, how'd you feel in general?
I don't know. I honestly don't know, because I guess I wouldn't feel too bad if it was compared to just like regular immortality, like vampire, I guess. Yeah. Because with this one, you still never know when you'll die. Yeah. So there's still that aspect of like humanism to it, and then the pain, you still, it's not like I'm a man of steel, like I don't feel pain. Yeah, like you still feel pain very much, and you know, you never know when it will stop. So even if you go about doing like crazy shit, shenanigans and whatever, you never know when that power will leave you, and then, you know, you die.
I think the one way they can kill you is as if they can if you cut your head.
I think they said big wounds take longer, so I think it would just go back.
The head? Wow.
I don't know. Or the body. It's like the same thing with Deadpool.
Oh, like, okay.
He'll just grow it back.
Okay. I didn't think that. For me, that's why I say I like this kind of immortality, because I am able to feel pain. I'm able to feel something that makes me human. If I cannot feel pain, if I cannot feel the wind, I don't want it. But this, I'm actually I would be content with it, because I don't see it as immortality. I see it as me or humans having a very long lifespan. You know, instead of living up to 80 years, you could still age, but like live like up to maybe 500 years or 1,000 years. And me, I don't have to be in the army. I don't have to be a warrior or whatever. I could just live long, and then if my time comes, my time comes. You know, I would be okay with it. You know what I'm saying?
The last point that I would like to bring up is the fact that throughout the movie, I was wondering why them? You know, why were they chosen? Why them? Why were they giving the gift? And it's sort of answered throughout the end. And it's basically, you realize the guy that betrayed her initially, the black guy. Yeah. And it's like he kind of like went through their past. Yes. And then realized that people that they saved, some certain deeds, good deeds that they performed, ended up being bigger. Like this person that they saved found a cure for a disease. This person that they saved 2 years later, or when they grew up, this made this incredible discovery that helped humankind. And then I feel like it's really not random. Of course, I didn't read the comic book, so maybe some of you have the answer. Yeah. But for those of us who didn't read the comic books, like, it's like, you know, they were chosen for a reason, and then they gave the reason in the movie without explicitly saying it or going as far as saying it. So it's like, yeah, they don't really know why, but everything that they do like ends up benefiting the world. Yeah. Which is weird, because the guy, the big pharma guy, kept saying you're selfish, you have this gift and you don't want to share it with people, be my lab rat and you'll benefit the mankind. And it turns out she was already doing it. Yeah, and it's cool.
They were building the domino effect.
Yeah, it's like a domino effect. You know, they do something and then it ends up, you know, having this huge effect.
They're already doing it.
And it was so cool, you guys, so cool.
I thought of a theory of why they got it that they didn't say. But the key word is that they keep mentioning is that they came from warriors. So she's a warrior. The dude probably come from a long line of warriors. Like
everybody was warriors.
Everybody, and the black girl, right? I forgot
Kiki.
Her name. Nile.
Well, her real name is Nile.
Nile. Yeah, her. You never know. Like her ancestors from Africa must have been tribal warriors.
Well,
like,
we don't know that. They didn't say that.
We are Haitians. We know we came from tribal warriors.
We don't know that either.
I know.
We might have come from an accountant, Dave. I'm just kidding.
Okay, all I'm saying is that what if having warrior genes became the access to immortality.
Maybe.
You know, having these warrior genes, you know, when you're warriors, you're physically fit, your mind is sharp, you can do a lot of things that the average person cannot do. So there you go.
Maybe, but it definitely seemed like everyone that was on the team was some kind of a soldier. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
But you guys, let us know your theories about the movie. Let us know what parts that you like. Who was your favorite character? By the way, all of the characters in the movie, like, they completed it in a way. Like, they were great. Like, all the supporting characters, side characters did a good job. So let us know who your favorite characters were. Would you like to have that gift or not? Did you like Charlize Theron like we did? Anyways, thank you for tuning in with us. We are looking forward to hearing from you in the comments, and we'll see you on. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. And I said that already, but subscribe.
Also, follow
us on Instagram. My Insta is Booth_ism.
Mine is Moosh_750.
And ours is Booth&Mushi. That was corny. Anyway, see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye.